What up, peeps? It's your girl, Come Back to Real Takes. Well, it's that time, you guys. It's reaction time, and this will be to Netflix's The Night Agent. This will be for episode 3, titled The Zookeeper. Now, I enjoyed the last episode. Things are kind of picking up, and it's moving at a nice little pace, which I'm loving. I will say more and more is coming to the head where you're wondering who is truly involved. Now, at first, I'll be honest with you, I thought Hawkins, played by Robert Patrick, might be at the helm. I will say he was at some one point involved, but they have taken him out of that, feeling I have now. So some other people. Plus, when we saw another gentleman talking to the guy who arranges his, people to go out and find Rose. We already dealt with the aunt and uncle, overhearing them say there's somebody, within the White House, there's some sort of mole, whatever, and all that, and there's a threat. And it's only so much time they have till this. So you're wondering, okay, will they be able to figure out what they need? But knowing, I'm curious, now that they have that thumb drive, what is on there? It is encrypted. They got to find a way to get the type of access within the White House in order to get the information to open up and find out more and more. Also, it makes me wonder if Hawkins, was aware of the situation with the aunt and uncle, if he was the one that was doing it, or he was close enough with them that he was trying to stay in a loop so he could figure out who probably might be a mole within the White House. So that I'm playing from both sides a little bit. I'm just not sure, but right now it doesn't look good for him, and you see hence now it's no longer, he is out of the equation. I like that Peter is going to just take the helm at this. He's not going to listen to Diane. He's like, no, you all need to figure this out, because of course when they open up the thumb drive, you see the title, it has, I think, was it 2781, whatever, which was the number of the train where that guy left the bomb. So he's like, okay, what is really going on? What were your parent, your aunt and uncle doing? Excuse me, I'm about to say parent. And I'm really curious about that as well. Of course, it makes me go back to people accusing him like he had the bomb, and of course throwing out his dad about a situation where he was trying to defend himself and his name before he died. So all these culminate again, now definitely brings Peter into the fold, where he's going to work closely with Rose to figure out what is going on. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts of them, you guys.
Peter, Diane Farr, the President's Chief of Staff.
So you want me to be a night agent?
God, no, sorry. I want you to answer the phone for them.
What?
There's a secure emergency line in the basement of the White House. We need someone hardworking, trustworthy, loyal, someone who does what's asked of them, who knows how to step up when needed, like you did on the Metro last week. In the wild, sure, bear, lion, majestic, powerful, all that shit. And here there's only one creature you should want to be. The one who decides when the others sleep, what they eat, who they fuck. The bitch with all the keys. Peter, did you hear me?
We'll be at the White House in an hour. It doesn't make sense why a guy like that would turn. I don't get it.
Who gives a shit? Why did you tell your boss we're coming in?
It's an order, Rose.
You and your orders, Peter.
We need somebody with actual power who can protect us.
Exactly.
With actual resources who can get into that thing. That's Diane Farr. We can trust her. Why was Hawkins in that field? Was he gonna meet with someone?
We don't know yet. It'll be the biggest federal investigation since JFK, and we don't know jack shit.
Hey, I know a place where we can stash the car overnight.
Great.
What did she say?
We have until 10 a.m. tomorrow.
So we have 0 suspects, even less evidence, and we don't know what Hawkins' connection was to the Campbell murders. Am I missing anything? That's all. Thank you. Doesn't really feel like you've got control of the situation.
Really?
All due respect, Michelle, you're not making my job very easy.
Whenever you call me Michelle, I know you're pissed. Okay. I might want to sit down for this.
People killed your aunt and uncle. One of them had been a woman.
That's him.
license plate?
We were. You said it yourself.
I'm just trying to consider all the angles, okay?
Occam's razor said there's only one angle, the conniving bitch angle.
Really?
We don't know that.
Exactly.
I'm putting Ramirez to aid the investigation.
Copy. I'll need to swap some shifts around, but I'll make it work.
There's no need. I'm sending a replacement. Eric Moss. Planning on having him join you next week, but extenuating circumstances.
Not a problem, sir. I'll get him up to speed.
If Chelsea's good with you, I'm good.
Don't forget your panic button.
I need you to run a bolo on a gray Ford Bronco for me.
You're running up?
Yeah, but can't really tell you anything else, man. Sorry.
What's the license plate?
Foxtrot Zulu 4135 X-ray. Yeah. I gotta get a new burner, but I'll call you tomorrow.
The drive's encryption algorithm's too sophisticated to crack on my laptop, so I'm gonna need a beast of a computer.
Like the CIA and NSA have at the White House. Does it feel like you have something specific in mind? This plan yours? If I get caught, if any of it goes wrong, if we're wrong about any of it, I'm done. Say it back to me. Where are we going if we get split up?
Foundry branch, take the tunnel to the pier, check the tails.
How long will it take?
5 hours, 40 minutes, give or take.
Once he clears out, lock this room to everyone's badge except for mine and POTUS's.
Yes, ma'am. How's it coming along?
Maybe just come back later. Whatever. Just say it. It sucks.
Next time I want you to explain what's holding you back. Be fearless. Be personal.
What is this?
Very desirable neighborhood, I'm told. Wanna see our new home? Maybe let's try this for a little while. See what it's like. We could be happy. Even if it's for a little. See ya.
You think I don't know who your fascist father is? Fuck him and fuck you.
Code 3, move in. You know I gotta report this, right?
Do what you're gonna do.
Yes, go ahead.
The fries are amazing.
What can I say to ease your mind?
I want the answers.
I don't have enough of these yet.
Connect Wi-Fi adapter, pick up computer.
I understand why it's hard for you to trust anyone right now, but I will help you.
Peter? There you are. Left my badge inside. Help lady out.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I found this on the air gap. I checked. Only badge scanned into the office was mine, including once when I was sitting Peter's speaking to Rose. When you left, I could trace her phone. What have you done, Peter? Did you kill Hawkins?
What?
Are you serious?
No.
Then explain this.
You explain first. Who sent the killers after us this morning?
You, come here. Get this to tech. Have them scan it for spyware. Right now. For certain who this person is or who else they compromised, we don't know how or if they're connected to the PIF. But clearly it's someone senior enough to get spyware on my phone and to pull Rosie's detail out the hotel.
I like to think my team's been doing a pretty good job keeping Badger safe since I took over.
And now with Moss on the team, Maddie will be that much safer. Right?
Right.
Right.
What kind of favor?
I need to know why a national hero got assigned to the most thankless detail in the whole Secret Service. It's not me. It's my father.
It's incredible.
Are
It's
we?
everything I had in you. I should get ready for my next class.
Wow.
You said you wanted answers. I'm here to tell you the truth about your aunt and uncle.
All right, you guys, I really enjoyed this episode. We're finally really moving this along with trying to uncover exactly what Rose's aunt and uncle were working on and dealing with a situation with, like I said, somebody who was a mole in the White House. We're dealing with the fact also knowing that there's a little bit of backstory on the people involved with Hawkinson's murder. Of course, at first, the first episode, definitely the second episode, when we got introduced to the gentleman named Redfield. At the time, didn't realize he was the VP. And now that we're meeting his daughter, Maddie, and we're seeing the other detail that comes into watching the daughter, of course, when you have Secret Service and all that. I love it because there's two characters who are now on here, and I'm excited to see, of course, one of them being the name Chelsea, who's the head of the team of the Secret Service that's actually watching over the Vice President's daughter while she's away in college. And she comes very high skill in charge, and then they're bringing on a second person named, I want to say Eric, played by D. Woodward. I'm a fan of him. So seeing these two people, and also Fola Evans, what is her name? Akin Bola. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly. I remember her from the show Sirens. So it's exciting seeing some other faces from other TV shows. Also, another individual who is working closely in class, the art, I want to say art teacher, art professor, named I think Paulo, played by another character who was on another show I used to like, called Bitten. So I'm seeing all these different people. So I'm just kind of throwing them out there because I just love seeing faces from other shows, coming onto this show and how integral they'll be on this one. Now, with that being said, don't particularly care for the VP, and knowing that he is the reason Hawkins is dead, and he's definitely the mole. At least we have that understanding. And what I'm trying to understand is to why. What is the motivation overall of what they're trying to do and what they're trying to really cover up? All that being said is probably what's on the thumb drive, being that Hawkins definitely worked closely, as Peter said, for years with Rose's uncle and aunt. So that lets you know there's a history. So I know within the actual episode, she said, what if Hawkins really was not, involved? He could have been getting close and then was dealt with. And I did say that at the beginning before this episode. So I'm leaning now a little bit towards that, meaning he did know some things and was talking to them, and they were keeping someone hidden just in case, God forbid, something happened to them, something of that nature, they might find it. But hence the fact that they said they schemed the whole house, couldn't find it. They didn't leave it at the house. We saw it was in the cabin. Hence, being at the cabin, they're not sure how they feel about Diane. Peter and Diane, I feel like the respect and all that, and the loyalty in an instance, I feel in that way, he can trust her and she can trust him. But of course, that being a little bit kind of tarnished for a moment because, of course, Rose does it because she just, thinks everybody and anybody be trying to come for her and all that. And I can feel it to an extent, but if Peter knows Diane has his back, whatever, I don't know why she couldn't go along with that. She was kind of irking me with that nonsense, but being what she's dealing with, I could truly get the point. Mind you, we're dealing with these two assassins. Excuse me, Ellen. I think the guy's name is Dale. Them getting there, I'm glad they decided to leave out and sleep somewhere else just to play it off. Thinking sets it up where, Rose more and more starting to think Diane has something to do with it, but in the end, she really did not. And I like how you're seeing a little bit of dynamic with her pretty much realizing we need to get the information, we need to get us off this hard drive, we got to use Diane in some instance, whatever, and they've come up with a plan. Now, dealing with those two assassins that have been, laid out to deal with this, you've seen a little story with them, and you can tell from Ellen's character, she seems to, besides doing what she does, and she probably does this very well, hence with the guys, like, never had an issue with them, panning out and taking care of any job they're on. Right now is a little bit tough because they can't seem to kill Peter and Rose. But her making a comment of feeling staying in these hotels, being a certain way where they just kind of go about their business and all that. She doesn't have any type of, as you want to say, probably in this instance, structure, and wanting to be in a home, whatever. She comes back, but I did make a comment while, you know, Dale making the saying, anybody lives in the house, you know, they're not happy. This is who are you to say they're not happy? Where do you getting this from? Do you live with anybody who's been in a house, you know, coming home 9 to 5, whatever, to know that? That could be certain for certain ones, but you don't know all people to make that type of blatant statement. So I kind of just shrugged him off like, whatever. You might not like to do that because this is what you think of it, but she wants this. And in the end, when they go to that house, because she already met with the real estate, the people are out of town, she knew the code, how to get in with the lockbox, and he decided, we'll try this out. She said even for us a little while, she wants a little bit of a realization and some sort of structure, the day-to-day where we go do what we're supposed to be doing with whoever job we're given, and then come back home. So I thought it was very interesting. Now, dealing with Maddie, you can see she's dealing with a lot of stuff. Of course, her teacher trying to push her to, open up, whatever, and all, put out, what you want. And she's not doing like the other ones in the class. Of course, she drew a picture of herself. Then she goes out with her friends, and she's dealing with some guy trying her egg her on, whatever, blah, 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 and just being rude and all that, and tried to manhandle her. But with the new detail, Eric being there, he kind of let it slip, and the guy got his hands on her. The other ones came in under the main team leader, Chelsea, and they were able to get her, extract her, and get her out of there. But you can see, being that he has a background where he used to work for some of the POTUSes, got shot and has been in, dealing with therapy and all that. But the guy on this particular situation, he wanted to bring him in under, and that's Ben. Chelsea's not feeling it, understandably, but they want him there. They want to kind of get him back in there, and he trusts him. And come to find out, he has a past one because they used to be, work together at a time. But you can see Chelsea's kind of not buying this, and all of a sudden things are working perfectly fine. Now you want to bring him in as to what? Now, granted, it could just be something that's just, nothing really there, and he just needs him to be in there. But I'm hoping with him, he catches on. He's probably being very observant. I kind of caught that a little bit just watching people come in and out. Chelsea being close, and of course Maddie, like if you bring him on, if you trust him, I trust him. And she's only trusting him because her boss, Ben, told her to. She does particular care. She asked the guy friend who she messes with from time to time to do some digging as to why this man. And it's just like, I wonder that too, because it makes you wonder, because even Diane doesn't care for Ben knowing that the detail for Rose was removed, but it could have been somebody else, and we know who that was. He was in the meeting when they had explained that they have to tell Hawkins' wife that her husband was killed, and he's sitting right there. But knowing who Maddie's father is in that picture she drew, showing it to her actual professor, just like, ugh, he's horrible, and she pictures like an evil, like some sort of demon or devil. He really is. So it's almost like when they said the kid knows, and she know what kind of father's like. Let me get myself prepared to make an appointment to talk to my therapist. So you can tell he's just not. You're not liked by your child. You give up some sort of vibe. You're not a good person, and clearly we already know that. But just seeing it from the child's standpoint, that right there, she's like, I'm gonna get you through this. Chelsea being, her main, security detail, right there, and even listening to how Eric was behind and heard some of that, so that makes you wonder. But just to put that out there, I will say the whole scene of Peter getting Rose to call a night agent so she can talk to Diane and kind of thwart her off so they could use an encryption to get into that thing and hook it up and all that. It worked, but of course Peter was being so fast and left that little thumb thing in there, and that's all it took for Diane. Like, you were the only one. I could check the badge. Like, you didn't realize that. She would eventually see, okay, even if he didn't leave that piece in there, she was going to ask, was anybody else in this room? And they would have figured that out anyway. So that part just made it easier for her to realize you were in here. All of a sudden my badge is up under my folder here, just whatever. And of course Rose thinking she might be getting seen at the diner and this and that and other, but then like she still doesn't want to trust Diane. Like, girl, get over yourself. You need all the help you can freaking get. Peter can only do so much. It's not like he's out in the field really doing this type of work. He's kind of winging it as well. He knows some things, but he doesn't know a lot. You need all the help, and I'm glad that Diane is on the right side. I really feel right now that she has not shown me anything that she can't be trusted. So I'm grateful for that. I will say this. I'm glad that when they thought that, why was this assassins there to kill him at cabin, you only one knew. So she knows that her phone has been compromised, meaning that guy, that VP Redfield, is the one who's, thwarting that. So I'm kind of glad that she's like, check my thing for spyware, give me another phone. Nobody's to have any access to it. I'm not giving her nothing. And moving forward, hopefully, I like how she showed up with him at the actual hotel. And she's like, she's here. Listen to her. She has more information. And that was due to her friend, Michelle, giving her the information about what's really going on. I wasn't involved with the information that went on with the aunt and uncle. I need more information. And she finally, privys her to that. So now she can give something to Rose, so Rose can finally stop talking like Diane is not to be trusted. But the part that I said it in the reaction, when that man touched that girl's back, I said, okay, right there, inappropriate. And then when he walked away from her to go back, and she kind of looked at first before he walked back, that little smirk. And then the little text, we need to move this a little closer. Like, give a couple of days, it's kind of, working out, whatever. And then he sent it back to the guy, mind blown, because when he's talking to the guy, you see the scene of that tattoo that was in the first episode, when he got in a scuffle with the guy who left the bomb. I'm trying to tie certain things together with that, okay? But it lets me know also that these two, I don't know if they are a part of whatever her father is doing, because that boy's at the bomb in that metro. There's something clear going on where I want to feel like they really set up Peter's father. Now I'm really feeling more and more as time goes on, the father might have been knowing some stuff was going on with her now. Somebody tried to set him up, and it might be that guy. Yeah, everything's going to slowly find a way to tie it together. I'm getting there. It's coming to a head, and I'm enjoying the ride. So I will just say, every episode, I love that I'm getting a little bit more information and seeing where everybody kind of falls in and just understanding what's going on. But hopefully they'll shed out a little bit more information on what's on that actual laptop from the file she has, because some of it was listening to a couple things, but was a catch on a couple others. But there was so many folders. But that one floor plan, a blueprint, and then she made it a little bit darker. There was some sort of address, envelope. So I don't know if that was her uncle or something. They can verify with some more papers or some documents that can pinpoint something with who's actually involved. But that's a sign. I'm really looking forward to next episode to see what that is all about. They're going to all go there, but I'm glad to know that all three of them are together, teamed up a little bit, so Diane's actually in the White House and they can still do what they need to do outside without being in there and be able to communicate. So again, this was a great episode. I'm enjoying the show immensely. So with that said, you guys, comment below, let me know what you all think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.